to why we have deficits. I'm going to give you one thing to begin thinking about. If you've got $1 in your pocket, where did it come from? So your first hint is it's signed by the Treasury Secretary. Okay? Unless it's counterfeit, it came from the government. And they've spent it, and they haven't taxed it yet. So what do we call spending without taxing? It's called the deficit. And part of the government deficit winds up as cash in circulation. Okay? If the government doesn't spend more than it taxes, if it doesn't give you more money than it takes away, you're not going to have any. Okay, so what is casually called the money supply, or part of the money supply, comes from deficit spending. So move right along here. Okay, so what is the monetary system? Okay. The monetary system is nothing more than a scorekeeping system. The Federal Reserve is a scorekeeper for the dollar. Okay. It spends by changing numbers up in our bank accounts, and it taxes by changing numbers down in our bank accounts. Keep up with my order here. The Fed doesn't have any dollars or not have any dollars. Now, let me give you something to think about here. Suppose you went in to pay your federal taxes with some old $20 bills. You went to the Fed, you gave them a stack of $20 bills. They would give you a receipt, thank you very much for paying for Social Security and Afghanistan. And then they throw them in the shredder. And you can buy shredded money in Washington. Okay, there's something different going on when somebody takes your money and shreds it. Okay, clearly they don't need that money to spend. If the banks want $20 bills, they'll give them 20s off the new pile. They don't need your old 20s with germs on them and everything else. They throw those away. If you pay me with $20 bills, I'm not going to throw them away. The state of New York's not going to throw them away. Columbia's not going to throw them away. The Federal Reserve is. Okay, something very different going on there. So let me get a little more specific about how the government actually makes a payment. Let's say it's the beginning of the month and I'm waiting for my Social Security check. So I look up at my computer screen and I see 4,000. That's the balance of my account, 4000. I wait and all of a sudden, blip, the 4 changes into a 5. What happened? I just got paid. I now have $5,000 in my account. What did they do at the Fed? What did the person do spending the money? He credited my account. He changed the number from a 4 into a 5. He did not take a gold coin and hammer it into his computer. He did not take somebody's tax money and run over to the next room and push it into the wire. He just changed the number up in my account. All federal spending is simply changing numbers up in our bank accounts. The Fed is a scorekeeper. Okay? If we're at a card game and I'm the scorekeeper, how many points do I have? I don't have any points. Well, if you have a hand and you get 100 points and I give you 100, where did they come from? They don't come from anywhere. I just changed the number in your account. Okay. Now let's get back to taxes again. We know what happens if you pay your taxes with cash, they just throw it away. Okay. Well, what happens if you pay by check? They change the number down in your bank account. Okay. They don't get anything. There's no gold coin that drops into a bucket. Okay. They don't take this and do something, and they just change the number down. So if I have $5,000 in my account and I pay a tax of $2,000, they just change the 5 into a 3. Oh, and now what happens if one person makes a payment to another person? You write a check to pay somebody else. Okay? The Federal Reserve will change the number down in your account and they'll change the number up in the other person's account. Okay? Totally separate operations. They're the scorekeeper for the dollar. They don't have any dollars, they don't not have any dollars. Okay, so as I say here, the monetary system is best thought of as a simple spreadsheet. And in fact, it only take a couple of $1,000s worth of software to run the whole Fed. All you need is to get one big giant Excel spreadsheet, put everybody on it, and you're done. Okay? The Fed is tasked to make the debits and the credits as legally instructed.